children, this is yours T.M. Manjunath, Assistant Master, Sri Anberu Kenchapai School, Lada. Dear children, today I am going to deal you 9th standard English as a second language. That is the prose called To My Countrymen. This is the a prose written by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Dear children, have you heard this name so far, or the Hurley? Yes, he is none other than our missile man. Who is he? He is called a missile man because he is the greatest scientist of our country. What we speak about him, it is definitely less because we are not fit as a human being, as an Indian. We are what we are talking about, what we are speak about, it is definitely less because he was the great scientist and he is the 11th president of India and also popularly as we known as Missile Man because he is a great scientist. He is very much interested in space. Have you heard that Mars? So he had launched a satellite. So this is the book he has written that is Ignited Mind. It is his autobiography. It is Ignited Minds. It is the autobiography of APJ Abdul Kalam. He has written his life history in the book called Ignited Minds. So, in that book, he had explained and he had given a guideline and he had gave some information and he gave what as an Indian want to be. So, he has addressed as to my countrymen in his book called That Ignited Minds. That Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who has written his autobiography, that is, as I told, Ignited Minds, in this book he has addressed, he has informed, he has explained how a countryman is. So he addressed that to my countrymen. So he was born on 5th October in 1931. He was born before Indian independence. He was born into middle class Tamil family. It is in the island town of Rameshwaram. Have you heard that Rameshwaram? So there is Hindu story, that is Hindu epic called Ramayana. So there is a Rama Setu is there. So there is a bridge were built across the sea of Hindu Mahasagar from Rameshwar to that Sri Lanka. So that is the point I have just only I pointed out this one. So here this is the Rameshwar where he was born in the Tamil traditional Muslim family. During those days there will be no Tamil Nadu or like this, that is Madras state. His father was that Jainul Abidin is his father. He had neither much formal education nor much wealth. He had not at a rich person, he had not at read, not at a literate or not at educated very well. What we can say that his mother called Aishamma. So These are the parents, that is Jainullah Buddin and Aishamma were Kalam's parents. So here Kalam's father, as I told, they were not at rich, not at educated. Despite of these advantages, Kalam possessed great innate wisdom and true generosity of spirit. So most of person who are saying that why you have not completed degree, why you have not studied, because my father is not in education, he is not educated, I had no money to learn more like this. Someone are giving the reason for their weakness of what we can call having little education. Dear children, I want to say that thing in Kannada. ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ನೀನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಓದಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕೆ ನೀನು ಅಷ್ಟು ಓದಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು, ಬಡತನ, ನಮ್ಮಪ್ಪನೂ ಓದಿಲ್ಲ, ದುಡ್ಡು ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಓದಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ APJ Abdul Kalam's father is not in good at education, and even he had not sufficient wealth, he had that type of disadvantages. He possessed a great innate wisdom, that is, and a true generosity of spirit. He had an ideal helpmate in his mother, that Aishamma. She recalled the exact number of people she fed every day. She gave food to every day. That is the thing we have observed, their generosity mind by helping others. I do not know what he continued, but I am quite certain he is saying that he was quite certain that for more outsiders were with us than all the members of our own family put together. And he is saying that there will be members of our own family and put together. So in the early life, Kalam's parents, they were very much interested in helping nature. So this way that Kalam had the best quality from the parents of Aishamma and Jainullah Buddin. So this is the personal information that is about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So as we can call him as a missile man. So in this family that he was born, as I told, middle class, that in the autobiography of Dr. Abdul Kalam, he had written some information about his people in that book called Ignited Minds. Let's start the lesson. Although this book he had written the first person narrative, that is I is used wherever I comes in the text or in this lesson, it is none other than APJ Abdul Kalam. Although this book I have spoken about the power of imagination, it lies at the heart of creative process and is in every substance of life. So this book is called Ignited Mind. He had spoken about the power of imagination. So here we have to imagine something. So when we started sending a missile on the Mars, it's very first we have to imagine. Our scientists have imagined the very first, that imagination comes true and succeed at the end. So it lies at the heart of the creative process and is every substance life. So imagination is one of the creative thought that can process something to do very much like this. Allied as it is the power of attract to us what we most desire. This imagination is a power that makes all the difference between the winners and the losers. There is an opposite word of losers and winners. When can attract this? So there will be this imagination power can makes the difference between the winners and the losers. And he continued, I would like to see 20 years a literate and poverty free India. And he had imagined that according to imagination of APJ Abdul Kalam, so next 20 years, I mean as now we have passed 2020, we are free from that poverty, free from illiterate. So Indian will be literate and India will be free from poverty next 20 years. So there is a plan. He has imagined our nation or our country will be free from that what we have evils. Poverty is our evil. You understand? So he had that imaging, and we should dream like him. Dream is none other than imagination. Okay, and we have to dream. According to Kalam, he dreamed of an India. It is governed by our noble leaders. So today, what kind of the leaders who are ruled over India? Yeah, all kind of the leaders were there. Dedicated leader is there. Selfish leaders are there, and many of them were ruled for themselves. Okay, by fulfilling their desires. But Kalam needed that. Kalam dreamed that we want a noble leaders. A noble leaders means should have a noble qualities. That is the best and the good qualities they must have. And he continued, I dream as a system where the work of scientists. So here he has supported, he has appreciated the work, that system of work by the scientists. Our scientists have innovated something new aspects, and our technologists, they were focused on the specific missions. It was driven by the goals. It is relevant to the common man. That common man can't innovate, can't initiate the new things. Understand? So only the scientist, only the technologist can make some specific missions that can be used for, that can be relevant to the common people. They were intelligent, they were technologists, they were scientists. That our politicians, our leaders, our government were called led by the Indian. So they were do some good thing that should be relevant to the common man. How this is the dream that made me real. So how Gandhiji had a dream to become a Rama Rajya. Gandhiji had a desire, that dream. He imagined that India will be like a Rama Rajya. Rama Rajya means once there is a Rama as a king who ruled India, there will be no problem. It is the best example. Rama's country is no problem country. Like this, India want to become a Rama Rajya. It is the dream by Mahatma Gandhi. Same thing here as Abdul Kalam. He wanted to become that his own country like our country. It should be what we can call very free from that poverty, and to be our whole countrymen will be literate like this. When one can be literate, when one can be free from poverty, automatically that country will be what? A good country or developed country like this. So this is the dream that our Kalam had. And he addressed to the reader, dear learner, how can Abdul Kalam's dreams to be realized? This is the dream that Kalam had. How this Kalam dream can be realized? So in Kannada, ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಲಾಮರ ಕನಸುಗಳು, ಈ ಕಲಾಮರ ಎಲ್ಲ ದೇಶದ ಒಂದು ಕನಸುಗಳು ಹೇಗೆ ಈಡೇರಬೇಕು? How these could be realized? We do realize that missions are always bigger than organizations. He had explained the two words here, that is called, one that is a mission and organization. These are the two words he has used. We need to realize that mission are always bigger than organizations. Organization means, before explaining this, I have to clarify the meaning of these two words. Organization means a group of people, they want to do something. So a group of people who are called organization. Understand? One institution, what we can say, it is a one institution. So here, mission means what we are going to do is the thing. In Kannada, ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅದು ಒಂದು mission, that work or the task. So who are going to do the work, it is organization. ಯಾರು ಆ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಸಾಧಿಸಬೇಕು ಅದು. So here we realize that missions are always bigger than the organization. This is very important thing. The team of this organization is very important to do, to reach what we had a vision, what we have a goal. So he continued, just as an organization are always bigger than the individual who run the organizations. So organizations are always bigger than that individual. For example, there is a VRL road service. Vijayananda road lines, there is something, it is Vijay Sankeshwar. You feel that VRL is an organization. You understand this. VRL is an organization. He had a mission. That mission is to give support or to help the transporting system. The mission is to transport the goods from one place to another, transport the people from one place to another. The main thing is transportation. It is the mission. So here, this VRL is a road lines, private road lines. This was founded by Vijay Sankeshwara. Here, what the Kalam want to say, so organizations are always bigger than the individual. So here VRL name is greater than the Vijay Sankeshwara. Understand? The people is not important or the founder is not important. What he found, what that organization is, the greater than that individual is explained here. Missions need effort, yes, and the mind provides the purpose. That vision, it needs the effort. It needs the effort, and mind provides the purpose. Understand? And see, this way considered which department or the ministry will take the man to a Mars or and built an habitat there. Which department sent a human being or a man to the Mars? Mars is a type of what we can call in Kannada graha, bhumi yatra, adu ondu graha, it is a planet. How that possible, or which department, which sector sent a human being or a man to the Mars? Mangala grahake manushyanna kalisiddu yaru? And they want to search whether that Mars is a suitable place for habitate the human being, manushya vasa madlikke yogya hauda illa, search madiddu yaru? Which department is putting a question? That is none other than space science, the space energy, the space technology. Understand? That is the thing. Can 2 lakh megawatt of electric power be generated by isolated efforts in thermal, hydroelectric, nuclear, non-conventional sector? Is it right? With an integrated effort. Today in India we have produces 2 lakhs megawatt. 2 lakhs megawatt electricity can be produced per day, it is not an easy task. It is not an easy job. Where can we produce electricity? From thermal energy, hydroelectric, thermal power, what we can call nuclear power, and other sector, what we can call non-conventional sector like windmill, that wave mill, or other sector of conventional energy. That effort can be put, this integrated effort that help us to produce 2 lakhs of megawatt electric power per day. Can the second green revolution happen without an agricultural scientist? In Punjab, there will be green revolution is taken place. What is the meaning of green revolution? That is, green revolution, it is a type of agricultural achievement. Our farmers who are in a formal method of farming, means old method of agricultural, so they are not produced much yield. So after this green revolution, our farmers, they are able to yield more yields in their crops or in their field. It means that it's only the possible of our agricultural scientists. So they have make a scientific experiments by producing the hybrid seeds and high yield seeds, and using fertilizer, and using pesticides, and using insecticides, and how to make the land fertile. Like this, it's all the thing, it is only possible by our scientific, by our agricultural scientists. Then only that green revolution was happened. So that biotechnologists and irrigation experts working together. So during the time that agricultural scientists, at the same time biotechnologies and our irrigation experts, so how to use a water source like this. So all these scientists put together, then we achieve that green revolution. So without a proper diagnostic facilities, that clinics and affordable drugs, how it can reach us our masses. Today we have a situation of pandemic situation. There is a pandemic, disease is spread all over the world. There are many months, it needs more than a year takes to what we can call conduct a vaccination, or to prepare a vaccination, or to for the COVID-19, what we can call coronavirus. So with the effort of our what we can call proper diagnostic facilities, what we can call our pharmaceutical experts can prepare a vaccination for killing that coronavirus. It is only for the effort of these what we call that pharmaceutical experts, then it reaches this type of the drugs to reaching our example. Just only I have told this example for this. How it can reach us the masses. Our biotechnology, our laboratories and the medical councils will continue to perpetuate each other, and its survival without serving the purpose of their existence. Dear children, it is Kalam has explaining how our great men, the great what we can call scientists, what we can call our technologists, who can be do the purpose for their existence, to set in the place the most advanced medical facilities and make these available to the people and responsible prices. So all these, whatever the diseases we are facing now, our people, our mass can be feeling from variety of the diseases. All the diseases can be curable when we have a proper of medical council, the proper of medical care, we can able to we will able to cure all type of the disease. When the experts who work correctly, then we can able to do. So here in this para, the Kalam who can be explained how our dreams can be realized, and he continued that I have built upon my own experiences and that made aware of energy, the field which is created by a vision. And he had his own experience, he had made that aware of energy, aware of power, which is created by a vision, that is vision, V-I-S-I-O-N. It is a power that arises from the deep with you. This power is basis for the movement towards excellence. We saw that at the time of independence, I have been touched by this power of many occasions while facing a challenge. So he had explained that the power which is based on that movement towards our excellence. Excellence means our superiority, our superior work we saw at the time of independence. And we have been touched that power with many occasions, and at the time we are facing challenges. So in a pre-independence India, we are spreaded with it. Now it helped us to humble of mighty empire. So during the time before Indian independence, our mighty emperors, how they can help us to growth our India as best among other country, what we can call. So in Kannada, there are Desha Bhakti, what we can have. ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಹೋರಾಟ ಜನರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇತ್ತು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಭಾರತದ ಯಾವ ಜನ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಸಂಗ್ರಾಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾರತೀಯರ ದೇಶಭಕ್ತಿ ಏನು ಅಂತಹ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಪ್ರತಿಧ್ವನಿಯಾಗಿ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರಲ್ಲೂ ಹರಡಿದೆ. ದಟ್ ಪವರ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಓವರ್ in India. So he continued, J.N. Jamshedji Nazarwanji Tata, that is J.N. Tata, who brought the steel industry in India even before the Indian independence. During the time that British was ruled India, so the British rulers were not favorably it is disposed this idea. So during that time, J.N. Tata, who had established that steel industry, so that P.C. Roy, who nurtured the chemical and pharmaceutical industry, J.N. Tata is responsible for launching the steel industry, and P.C. Roy, who is responsible for started chemical and pharmaceutical industry. Pharmaceutical means it is what we can call drugs, medicines, that's the thing. So and he continued, we saw the birth of many great industries, institutions like Indian Institute of Science, that is IISc, that C.V. Raman, who had established that Indian Institute of Science. He became a director of that Indian Institute of Science. There we can conduct that experiments there. And it is started by J.N. Tata, that is at Bangalore. There Sir C.V. Raman worked a lot. Banaras Hindu College, Hindu University, who established by Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya. And Aligarh Muslim University, it was set up by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Some of these progressive Maharajas or the king, they too set up the institutions or universities, that is Baroda University by the king of Baroda. There were many examples in all these cases that motivations were to see India, to came up the world, to demonstrate that India can do it. and he explained that India can do it. So this is the thing here. Kalam have been explained our dreams comes true. Anyway, dear children, I think it is enough for the today. I am going to continue the remaining part of the same lesson. How the Kalam have been addressed to the our countrymen. He is saying this to my countrymen means to us Indian. How the Kalam addressed the Indian people in his book called Ignited Minds. Will continue remaining part of this lesson in my next class. Thank you for watching my YouTube class. I meet you in my next YouTube class. Thank you, Nanda.